Every day, there are hundreds of thousands of Americans that are living on the streets each night. I have been studying the reasons as to why people end up without a home. Being homeless cannot be fixed overnight. Everyone needs to do their part. The lack of resources available to all types of people is a really large cause that leads to homelessness. If a higher education wasn't so expensive and easily accessible, it would allow more people to create a better future for themselves and their family. Access to affordable healthcare is also a huge problem in the homeless community, and it makes it really hard for them to find ways to take care of themselves. A lot of us have access to school, mentors, adults, anyone that can help us along the way, especially when we're younger. The number one reason people become homeless is because of the lack of affordable housing. And it's very difficult to live a sustainable life on minimum wage, especially if you have a family. So if you don't have that foundation to help you along the way, to give you some sort of degree, whether that be college, technical school, any sort of experience, it's really hard, especially in America today, to get a job that pays well to support not just you, but your family. It's very hard as a teenager when you don't have someone really looking out for you. Especially as you get older, they will have trouble budgeting and balancing their money. So if you're a teenager and no one shows you really how to budget and balance, that's not something that a lot of teenagers just decide, hey, I'm gonna go do it, so let's go learn. So it's really nice to have someone there just showing you and explaining you. And if someone is helping them build a future for themselves, it honestly might help them find a better job with better benefits and pay. In America, there are not enough jobs to go around for everyone, and I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Unemployment is a huge factor in homelessness. When people lose their jobs and can't find another one, they don't have any way to pay their bills. Sooner or later, these individuals will have no way to pay their bills, especially their rent, which, in the long run will lead to them being evicted, and a lot of the times they have nowhere else to go. More jobs, especially those available to people with lower skill sets, will result in less homelessness. I want to show you guys my first chart. About homelessness, and it shows different big cities in our country that really just have the most amount of homeless people living in each section. So let me see if I can get this on here for you. So we have New York City. I think it's backwards, but you can have the top is New York City, and then you have Los Angeles, and then Seattle. This is 2019. So since it's backwards, I will read them off to you. So New York City in 2019 had 78,604 homeless people. And that leaves Los Angeles at number 2 with 56,257. And then Seattle is the third with 11,199. And it goes down to San Jose, San Diego, San Francisco, Oakland, Santa Ana, and Phoenix. With Phoenix having 6,614. The total amount of homeless people in January of 2019 was 567,715 people. That's a lot of people to be homeless. So the lack of resources for the mentally ill really does play a huge part in individuals with substance abuse problems, because that's a huge issue in the homeless community. The percentage of mentally ill and substance abuse homeless people in America is a large number. 26% of the homeless population is suffering from some form of mental illness, and 35% of Americans that are homeless are suffering from a substance abuse of some kind. 35% is a large number, because that 35%, if they had help, there's a high chance that they wouldn't be homeless. If Americans had more affordable and easier accessible programs for these individuals, they could get the help they need. Substance abuse and mental illness is not an easy disease to cure. They need help from a medical professional that they might not know that they deserve. If they're homeless, they just might not think they deserve to find a professional that can help them. So really, I ask, do you put yourself in the shoes of a family or a friend who is homeless? You would want to help them, wouldn't you? Because the amount of people that we see is just insane. I'll show you my next chart. This one might be easier to read. This is the amount of people the orange is the amount of people that are in shelters, and then the blue is the amount of people on the streets. So it starts from 2014 and then goes up to 2019. So as you can see, in 2019, the amount per shelter and street rate were about even, which is great. But the bad thing is, it's gone up. Like, the amount of homeless people have gone up. No matter if there's more in shelters, it has just gone up every year. So that's when I, strongly encourage you to ask yourself, what would you do if you had a family member or a friend that was homeless? You would want to help them, I would assume. Every homeless person is someone's daughter, son, brother, sister, mother, friend. They are loved by someone, no matter the reason for them being homeless. So what would you do to help if you knew someone that was homeless? All I ask is the next time you see a homeless individual, if you can't give them food, money, a blanket, a self-care kit, something as simple as just saying, I'm thinking about you, I hope you are doing good. Let them know you care, because a sweet gesture can go a long way. There are so many different resources and sites you can go. A really good one is State of Homelessness from the National Alliance to End Homelessness. Another one is Homelessness in America from the National Coalition for Homelessness. And another good one is 10 Facts About Homelessness in America from the U.S. News and World Report. Thank you.